Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his real estate entrepreneur and Tuesday expert, Omar. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you? What's up, Michael? What's up, everybody?
I have been looking forward to this conversation for a week. In video number 2, we talked a little bit about demand destruction, cost of capital, basically really hurting buyers, causing them to back out or settle for less. But what I coined last week and have asked every other expert, you are my last one, is I actually believe we are going to suffer supply destruction. Demand destruction is easy. Raise rates. I have 10% less buying power. I can buy less stuff. Everybody gets that. I believe we are going to have supply destruction. I believe for the first time in my real estate investing career, we are going to have move up buyers and other folks decide not to list because it is not financially right to do it. So I've actually have a spreadsheet. I want to ask you 8 variables about supply destruction to get your opinion on. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. This is awesome.
All right, here we go. So can you see that now?
Okay, got it.
Let me set this up. We're going to start at row number 9 because it's the easiest one for people to understand. So what I want you to do is I want you to compare this year, Omar, 2022, with last year.
Ooh.
So let's talk about last year as a move-up buyer. If I was a move-up buyer, right, I owned my home for a few years. I had a bunch of equity. I had a new kid or another child. I got promoted, whatever. I want to sell this house and buy this next house. It made financial sense because rates were low. I believe because we just talked about rates went up 250 basis points and perhaps more. There are going to be lots of buyers who look at this and say, I don't want to do it. I'm going to stay put. For example, I actually just did the math on another video. If you had a 200K house, you borrowed 180 grand at 2.6, your payment's 720. If you're going to move up, right? Let's just say double, you're going to go to 400, borrow 360, your payment's now 2 grand. And the rate went to 5.4. So a lot of people are going to look at this going, you know what, honey? We're going to stay put. We are not selling. We are not moving up. Right. Yep. So what I want to ask you is what percentage of folks will look at the math and say, we are not going to sell? This will be a negative number.
How many people are going to choose not to sell?
Right. They're not going to move up. They're going to stay in their first home because of the payment shock.
You know what? I'm going to probably say a good, based on my little area here, I'm going to say 10%.
Okay. Negative 10%. All right. So a lot of these will be negative. Some will be 0. Some will be positive, but we'll just keep going. Again, I was trying to think about because we have a lot of statistics about demand, like who's buying, owner rocks, investors, Wall Street. We don't have a lot of history about who's selling. So this is all about who's selling. So now let's think about investors, right? Okay. Prices are up. Rates are higher. I can't 1031 because there's nothing to buy. Do I sell out because I want a high price and just, I'm a frustrated landlord? So do you think there are more or less investors who decide to sell this year?
Great question, man. I'm asking myself that shit too.
Exactly.
So, honestly, I'm going to say there's going to be more investors wanting to cash out.
Cool.
And deal with the consequences of taxes.
Yeah, just pay up, right?
Because they bought so well the last 2-3 years, and they're capitalizing it.
Okay.
And then when if there's going to be a change, they're probably going to get better deals.
Okay. All right. So what do you think?
I'm going to say there's probably going to be an increase of overall.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say I'll stick to my 10.
Okay. All right. I like
because they're not huge numbers though. Like
no, it just yeah. I was trying to these 8 categories are just where I thought supply comes from. Now the must sell, right? Death, divorce, job transfers. This stuff always happens. It really doesn't matter where the market is. Do you think you have more or less of these this year?
More.
All right.
More. I'm going to say like 20%.
Okay. Very cool. Now, this one could be a big number, but it's probably because it's coming off a small base, but that's always fun to think
Right.
about. Foreclosures, right? I can't afford it. I don't have a job. I'm not paying this, that, the other thing. Do you think foreclosures, short sales skyrocket in your area?
They don't skyrocket. They do increase because
Mhm.
of inflation.
Okay. All right. What do you think this goes
And
to?
I'm going to say it's probably like a good 8%.
80 or 8?
8.
8. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Flippers. Do you think more? Do you think flippers sell more or buy, flip less, flip more? You get stuck with stuff? What's going on?
In this case, I think this is a double-edged sword if you don't have enough money to hold. So
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna say that the flippers now, anybody that gets into the mix, they're just gonna want to sell. There's gonna be an increase of like 35%.
Okay. I like it. Builders, right? Are builders going to build more or less?
They are, yeah, they're going gangbusters because there's no supply.
Yeah.
So
What do you think?
I'm gonna say, yeah, I want to say about 40%, man.
Okay. I like it. All right. Downsize. This one's pretty interesting, right? Mom and dad live in
Yeah,
a big home, maybe own it free and clear. They've always wanted to downsize. Do they downsize because they own it free and clear? Or maybe did they get a second mortgage or refi their house and now they have equity? Are they going to downsize? Because again,
uh,
rates are more, right? Do they stay put or
right.
do they downsize?
You know what? Honestly, cost of living, inflation,
Mhm.
maybe they're further away from the freeway. Maybe they want to get closer to the freeway.
Mm.
Maybe they do want smaller bills, not so
Maybe.
large bills.
Yeah.
And they have all the equity there.
Mhm.
They're still going to be in a good position. So I'm going to say they are going to be downsizing more than we've seen.
Okay.
If there's, again, if there's houses available
Exactly. Yeah.
for the downsize. So they may want to, but they probably won't find something, not
That's
unless they're going to settle.
that's the key, right? Do they? Yeah. Cause when I envision, the 60-year-old who empty nester, are they
Uh-huh.
right? They have 4 bedrooms and they only need 2, but are they really going to downsize when they have to settle? I mean,
You know what? Not less. They're in a situation to where they don't want a freaking 2-story home anymore.
maybe. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Then they'll just go ahead and get the 1-story. And guess what? They're going to go live their life. They're going to take their money and they're going to travel.
Good for them. So what do you think? More or less?
I'm going to say more with an asterisk.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to say it's going to be 15% more.
Okay. And then the last one I could think of, I don't know if this is, it's probably not a very big market, but maybe there's a lot of second homeowners. Maybe this is like Havasu, for example. And they're like, hey, we don't use it a lot. Prices are nuts. We're just going to sell it and take the money.
Hey, and honestly, there's going to be an increase of second home sellers.
Okay.
You know what? Like, it depends. I'm looking at it in my perspective, and I see the same. So I'm just like,
Yeah. That's fine.
I'm going to say there's going to be a 10%,
Okay. I like
and
it.
I don't know if that's 100% right there, but pretty close.
Yeah. It doesn't have
maybe
to be
not.
100. Yeah. It's fine. Basically, it's because what I take from your discussion is you think inventory goes up in the environment we're in because most of these are positive. We have one negative, the move up buyers. So
Move up buyers, yeah. You know why? And this is the thing, and I
That's
don't,
okay.
and there's no right or wrong answer. It's just an
No.
opinion. But
of course.
what I'm seeing is the downsizing aspect of it.
Yeah.
That they don't want a second home.
Mhm.
They may not want a second home, and they're going to sell it because they can't afford it no more.
Yeah.
And maybe they want to capitalize on the appreciation. So I'm thinking there's going to be based on this, but based on what I see,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I still think that we're probably going to have a couple extra properties on the market for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just because you're the last guy, I will do a video on this summarizing it, but let's just take a look at what everybody said. Let me add you.
Damn, everybody's negative. Fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot more negativity. Some of these are crazy numbers, right? Like negative 90%. Let me just collapse this. Yeah, like Greg was thinking negative 90, Matt was negative 85. I think for me, where's mine? Oh, actually, I didn't put mine in here. I have to put mine in. So I'll do that later. I thought move up buyers were down big. I think builders are up. I think downsizing is down. I just think there's a lot more people not moving. Right. I think given rates jump so fast, which is so abnormal, I think real estate's about to be like frozen. It's like I'm not like it's like a deer in the headlights. You just freeze and you have to let the economy work itself out. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, and you know what? Hearing it from you too, Michael. Well, shit. It's you know, you see it as a whole. I'm looking at. Are you basing it off of Fresno or just as a whole?
I'm trying to look at it. I did obviously I have a bias, right? It's one market I've looked at for 21 years. The last couple of years I have tried to be more national, which is really hard, right? There's some super hot
It's
markets.
so hard.
And then they're super cool. I mean, I'm doing the best I can, but I was really just trying to be mom and dad sitting at the kitchen table. Mom and dad sitting at the kitchen table, they own their home. 70% of loans, according to Matt, the mortgage guy, have been recast in the last 2 years, which means they're
70%.
70%, which means they're 3% loans roughly. They're looking at this and they want to move. They're pregnant with their second kid. They want to get to a better school. They want a newer home. And then they go do the payment shock and we're going to go from 800 to 2,100. I am not effing doing that. So I think there's a lot of people. It makes financial sense not to move. And then for baby boomers, downsizing. I think there's a lot of baby boomers. Yes, if you are a baby boomer that owns your house free and clear, congratulations. I don't think there's a lot of you out there. I think there's a lot of baby boomers that refied their loans and cash out and had ATMs and had their house. They, like my parents, they took out a loan to pay for my sister's education. That again, if you do that, your house is not paid for. So again, if you're a baby boomer with a mortgage that's affordable, are you going to downsize, have the same payment? Because again, right, you go from a 4.2 to a 2.2, but it's the same payment. Do you really want to make that sacrifice and leave your friends and your network and your area? I don't know, man. I just think the freaking housing market's going to lock up.
Fuck. And what's your projected time frame, Michael?
I think it's occurring right now. So again, I think transactions crashed 25% this year and are down 50% peak to trough. I do not think prices get hit. I think prices are fine. I think it's all transactions.
Okay, but so if it's all transactions and price stays the same, there's gonna be a lot of people not making money.
Well, yeah, the mortgage industry, brokers, you're gonna be driving for Uber. Real estate agents, buckle up. Again, we have statistical I just did a video. Go to my YouTube channel on Whiteboard. I think it's 1979 to 82. Transactions for new homes and existing homes fell 50% over 2.5 years.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, but prices went up. Everybody thinks a real estate crash and transactions mean prices have to fall. No, if you're not selling anything, prices don't move.
Yeah, because there's no, you're not selling for under or 20, 30, 40, $50,000 under. You're not even selling for above. You're not selling. There's no new comp that's going to dictate where the market's at.
Yeah. And again, it's because we have good loans. We have as of last year, 98% of loans were fixed 30-year. There's no forced sellers. What you and I experienced last time were these 2 and 28s that kept blowing up. 50% of loans were adjustable rates last time. And as
not this time.
No, 98% are fixed. Why? And again, the reason last time happened is because when the balloon payment adjusted or the payment adjusted, it was cheaper to rent. So you just stayed put, didn't pay your payment. You lived there for free for 2 years, and then you rented. Today, it is cheaper to stay in that home at $700 than to rent for $1,200. So you're going to do everything you can to stay in your home. The market's just going to, it's going to be like winter. It's going to be like winter in Chicago. It's just cold and frozen. Not much. Now you will still have sales because death and divorce, job transfers, investors want out. You still sold 2 million homes when rates were 16%. You just didn't sell 4 million homes. So transactions still happen, and investors will still do deals, because you and we are going to hunt for motivated sellers. Where a year ago we wanted a 10% discount, we're going to ask for a 30% discount, because we are only going to do great deals. You're only going to have me dip into my reserve capital for a great deal, but I'll still do them, but they're going to be great, fatty, big meat, multiple exits. And there will be motivated sellers who have to sell. They just want out, and I'll be there.
You just have to get, you're going to be there to pick it up.
I'm going to pick up the pieces. Yeah.
That's where the securing of your buy box, very specific, is going to be key, because if it doesn't fit, then you're not going to force it.
Exactly.
It's got to be good and great. No, it's just got to be great deals. That's it. Not even good anymore.
Great. Exactly. This is not last year where I would do a good deal. Cost of capital is up. Holding times could be up. Only doing great deals. Period.
Yeah. That, you know what? And of course, we're all in that phase of like, dude, I want to buy this one, this one, this one. You know how many times, just to give you an example, I made 6 offers the last 2 days.
There you go.
6 offers myself, not the team, me. Like, not for people, but for me to purchase. And it's like, okay, what am I doing here? Like, I'm sending out these offers, and I'm getting sellers calling me back, telling me, hey, we're really close. And I'm like pissed, because it's like, I could have got it 30 grand cheaper, because I never got a call back from people. I had to call them.
Yeah. The market's changing. Yeah. It's changing.
Yeah.
It's changing.
Interesting.
Very cool,
good,
man.
Michael.
Well, thank you for doing this with me. I will do a summary video on this. I want to add my column to this, and I'll do min, max, and averages and all of that. Omar, where can people find you?
Follow me on IG, guys, at Omar_Alfaro, OmarAlfaro.com as well.
Awesome, buddy. Thanks. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you. You too.